Hey guys, it's Monty from XS Sights, and I'm here to talk to you today about our newest product offering. We're introducing the DXT2 PRO Series for the Glock 17-19, 42-43. We'll also have one for the 20, 21, and 40 in the very near future, with Smith & Wesson M&P family and the SIG family coming in the next few months. So the DXT2 PRO is the latest evolution of our flagship product. When we started XS Sights in 1996, we were doing an express style sight. Very fast, very simple dot the eye sight picture. And that has progressed through the years. When we released the DXT2s, we took the photoluminescent glow dot that we were using on the F8s and brought them into the DXT2 line. That gives you a very large front sight that's easy to see on presentation from the holster with a highly visible front sight. We had the optic yellow, which worked great in extreme low light. It had the best glow of any of the color formulations we played with. And we also offered the optic orange, which had better contrast in bright lighting conditions. We got to playing with it and we figured out that this green that we're using now on the DXT2 Pros kind of splits the difference. Better contrast in bright light than the yellow, but it glows better in low light. So that was one of the things that we marked for improvement. One of the other pieces of feedback we continue to get from customers is that if you don't maintain a steel sight, it will rust. Big shocker there. You have to maintain the steel sights. For the Pro Series, we decided that we were going to go ahead and upgrade from a black oxide finish to a black nitride finish. The black nitride is going to offer considerably better corrosion resistance and better durability, better wear resistance than the black oxide we were using, which will mean better durability overall. For those of us that live in the southern states, like here in Texas, where I carry without an undershirt, and this time of year, we're recording this in June, it's a little warm. I sweat a lot. That black nitride means I don't have to spend as much time maintaining the sights every week. I'm okay with that. Additionally, we've upgraded from a traditional glass lamp to the tactical lamp. The tactical lamp has an aluminum sleeve and a sapphire lens. Still a very bright lamp, but it also offers a slight advantage in terms of durability, especially for guys that are using something like an ALS holster where it's got a locking system that, with my draw stroke, I generally tend to hit the locking system on the presentation from an ALS. It just increases the durability of the lamp and means it's going to hold up better. Overall, it's an improvement to the product line. We think it's going to be a much, much better choice for the vast majority of people, especially the folks in law enforcement or the folks that are carrying the handgun every day as an offensive tool. It's going to require less maintenance because of the improved finish and a little better durability because of that tack lamp. Additionally, you've got a front sight that's going to give you a little better contrast in bright light than the optic yellow would, but it's going to glow better in low light than the optic orange. Again, the DXT2s are still a great product, but for those that are really, really wanting the absolute best they can get, the DXT2 Pro Series is going to be the way to go. You can find them on our website at www.xssights.com. Today, we're going to do an install on a Glock 43 with our new DXT2 Pro Series. Now, it's a Glock 43, but this same installation method works on the DXT2s and the DXT2 Pros, regardless of the Glock that we're working on, whether it's the 42, all the way up to the long slide 10 mil, the Model 40. All right, first thing we're gonna do, gun is completely clear. We're gonna field strip it. This gun was actually set up for show use, so there's no firing pin, so it's nice and easy to field strip today. Right. All right, got enough room I can get the slide in here, get it in, lined up, and lock it in with the wedge. And then this plastic factory sight is going to be nice and easy to get out. Although a little faster with the T-handle. All right, rear sight's out. We're gonna go ahead and pull the front sight while we're at it. Now the DXT2 Pro Series and the DXT2s should have a slip fit rear sight. That's by design. Now that I got everything off, I'm gonna go ahead and start degreasing everything. Loctite is essential to the installation on the Glock sights. Regardless of the series, it is absolutely essential, especially for this front sight. So we're gonna start off by degreasing everything. We're using the Lucas Oil gun cleaner. Gun scrubber works really good. Acetone works really good. Fingernail polish remover can work as long as it doesn't get you in trouble with your significant other. Brake cleaner can work too. Basically right now we're just trying to get any oil, dirt, debris, gunk, anything like that off of the mating surfaces so that that Loctite does its job correctly. Again, any of the mating surfaces, right? So the bottom of the sight, the sides, and the bottom of that tab. And I have these nice little pointed Q-tips, which works good for running them into the hole where the threads go. You could just hose it out. I'm trying not to make a huge mess. So the pointed Q-tip's great for that. Same thing on my slide. Again, all those mating surfaces, I want them clean. Make sure I don't have any oil or gunk where I'm going to have the sight and the red Loctite. Ew. All right, we'll give that just a minute to dry. Generally, I like to start on the front sight. It doesn't really matter. That's just the way I like to do it. Don't ask me why. I got no explanation, but it works. One of the three pieces of feedback that we get a lot of times is that hole that Glock mills in there can be fairly generous, right? You can see I've got a good bit of play on that front sight. Glock does that because they use a factory sight. When they run that factory screw in there, it swages out the bottom of their plastic sight. It means they don't have to hold as tight a tolerance. It makes it easier to machine. We're using a steel sight, so when we put this together with the Loctite, we've got to keep an eye on it and make sure we keep it straight. It's not a problem, it's just a fact of life. We're going to add plenty of Loctite on the top of the slide and on the edges of that hole where the sight's going to fit. Again, Loctite is my friend in this case. I'm going to put a good drop on my screw. And try not to let that fall over. Fortunately, the T-handle for the Pro Series, the Gunsmith Series side pusher has a magnet in it. Makes it harder for me to lose the screw. Not impossible, but harder. So got the sight in, I'm going to get the screw started. You notice there's basically no tension there at this point. I'm going to take a look at it. As you can see, I kind of got it at a little bit of an angle. I'm going to straighten that up very carefully. Make sure I'm happy with it, and then I'm going to snug that screw just a little bit more. Get on there. All right. Thumb and forefinger. It just bottomed out. I'm going to give it just a little more. The torque specification for that screw is only about 10 inch-pounds, which is not much. We're depending on that Loctite to hold it. Again, Loctite is essential to the installation. All right. Now for the rear sight. We're going to let that Loctite sit there. We'll clean it up here in a minute. Ideally, that sight's going to be a slip fit. That's by design, right? You can see I can push it through with my finger. I'm going to go ahead and visually center this up. Now, if you really wanted to, and you had a set of calipers, you could get a set of calipers and measure from either side. I'm just going to get it pretty close with the Mark 1 Mod O eyeball. And again, just snug these set screws. Now, these set screws are not intended to hold the sight by themselves. They're there to hold it in place while the Loctite sets up. So make sure I kind of got it where I want it, and just snug the set screw. You can tell that's where it stopped on the slide. That's all the force that screw needs. I don't want to put any more. It's not necessary. Again, just until that screw stops on the bottom of that dovetail. Then we're going to apply the Loctite. I'm going to put a drop on the top of the slide on each side, kind of even with the screw hole. Both sides, front and rear. And a drop down in the dovetail on each side. We're going to let that sit for 5 to 10 minutes. We'll be back. All right, we've let that sit for a good 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to come back in and use Q-tips, paper towels, whatever you have that works is fine. I've been known to use a t-shirt on the range if I had to. Black is better for the t-shirt because it doesn't show that red Loctite as bad. And I'm just going to clean off any of the excessive Loctite that's on there. Now on the front side, make sure to come in on the underside and get any of the extra tube. I've never done it, but I had a buddy that did an install once on a 1911 that originally had a 10 in front. Got some Loctite between the bull barrel and the slide and had a little trouble racking the slide the first time after he installed that sight. There we go. Sights are installed. We need to let it sit, preferably overnight before we shoot it. And we're ready to go to the range.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. Also, be sure to be following us on Instagram and Facebook to be up to speed in all the new things that we're doing. If you guys want early access into some of those cool things that we're doing, make sure that you're signed up for our email newsletter. You guys get exclusive discounts, early promos, and like I said, insights to all the new things that we're doing. As an American-made, family-owned company, our mission is to empower the good guy to be more confident, self-reliant, and prepared through functional weapon upgrades. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.